Yo, my name is Vince, and this is Raminisce Podcast.
Why you look at me, dude? Hell no. Hold on. Hey, this is Goofy, and this is the Reminisce Podcast. If you like us, come support us on our podcast. You can send us gifts on our Venmo. Come follow us on links down in the description. Let's get to the episode.
Nyaju. My name is Vince, this is Raminisce Podcast. So, we are here at Unison, and we're here with two very special guests. We work with them pretty closely at events and stuff. You guys seen them before. One of them is a DJ, and one of them is a Facebook superstar. So, we got VX and Jackson here.
What's up, man?
What's up, y'all? Thank you guys
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're over here at Unison too. Thank you. Shout out to Unison and BBD for letting us do the podcast here. So, I fucked up earlier. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm about to blink that later. It might be bloopers. I don't know.
That's for Patreon.
It'd be for Patreon. It depends, but. Yeah, no, dude. We've been trying to schedule this for a while now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've been pretty busy too. So I've been keeping in touch with VX about doing an episode together for sure, you know. So here we are today. I think Jackson and Justin, they're actually brothers. Just so you guys know, in case you guys didn't know.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're brothers. So that's probably another reason why you guys see us out here. But I don't know exactly when I met VX and Jackson, but I know it's around like just a few years ago, to be honest.
Yeah. It's about a few years ago. I think when we, I think it was through a concert.
Yeah. I think it was through a concert because I know you reached out to us before, just saying that you seen the podcast and everything, and that's when I was coming around taking photos too for the events and stuff for BBD.
Yeah.
So I think it's around.
You were
then.
just voluntarily coming.
Yeah, it was.
It was free at that time.
Yeah. we had to up it for Vince and Justin.
It helps.
We
it helps.
had
I
to up
appreciate
it.
it.
We had to up it.
No, 100%.
Can y'all hear me breathe? I feel like y'all can hear me breathe and shit. Can y'all hear me breathe or something?
That's why. Do you want this? Do you want this?
No.
This is my personal help.
I feel like y'all can hear me breathe and shit. Can y'all hear me breathe though?
V, you were right.
No, you
were right.
You get.
He needs it.
No, I feel like it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
you get
like when you're recording, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
You know, one of our guys, his trick is just he holds his breath.
Damn, so y'all can hear it.
No, we can't hear it.
No, we can't hear it like that. No, I
You
get
gotta
it.
breathe like this. You gotta breathe out of the mic.
We're not paying
Go
attention.
like this.
But here, like Tung Pafu, the guy that translates for Tung Pafu, he said whenever he translates, his mic is over here. And he talks into the mic this way, so it doesn't go like this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Either way, it's fine. So, but if you want, you can turn your head.
But wait, go ahead, dude.
But
Be normal. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna pay attention.
Why don't you give him your headphones?
He don't want it.
I don't hear me
Okay,
breathe.
yeah,
man.
that's fine. That's
I don't
fine.
even hear myself breathe, yo.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's out of shape breathing right here.
Okay, so usually I do kind of like catching up and stuff too, but then I kind of want to dive into like your guys' upbringing first, because that's where the story starts, right? Like, where were you born, where you came from, So I don't know if you want to start with you, V.
Yeah, I guess I can go. So I wasn't born in the United States. I was a refugee. Baby.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
Ooh,
I was
that's
born.
something new.
Yeah, I was born in the Thailand refugee camp. I think I want to say it's V9.
V9?
I might have to check with my mom's, but
So you're a fob?
yeah. So I was a fob.
Good.
But then we came over when I was 1 year old.
Oh, okay.
Like in the late 80s, like 89, I think. So I didn't really know anything,
Yeah.
When we came over, I was still a kid.
Basically, you grew up here, though.
Yeah. Basically, I grew up here, but then
He an
when we-
American.
yeah.
American.
When we came to to La Crosse,
Okay.
Wisconsin. We actually came to La Crosse, Wisconsin first, my family, and I stayed there until maybe 95.
Okay.
From 89 to 95, we stayed in La Crosse, and then we came with my grandma
Okay.
and my aunts and uncles, because my grandpa he passed away in Laos.
Okay.
So then so it was just my grandma coming over with like my aunts and uncles. They were young at that time too. I think they were like kids, like under 10.
Oh, okay.
And my dad, when he came, he was only like 19, 20 when
So
he
he's
came.
young.
Yeah, so he was young. Yeah, he came, and I was the only kid too at that time. So like, when we came to La Crosse, we all lived there. But then we found out a lot of our relatives are up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why we made that move from La Crosse to the Twin Cities in '95, and then we ended up living in Northside.
So
Northside,
you,
Minneapolis.
so you guys already have family here already.
Yeah,
before
we
you
had
guys-
some family here because my dad's younger brother. He sort of came first.
Okay.
Because I think he was in school or something like that, but he came first. Some of my dad's uncles, like my grandpa's brothers, they kind of came too.
Okay.
Before, but then my family, under my grandpa, we all came at the same time
Oh, okay.
back in I think 80, 89.
Are you the youngest then?
No,
You're
I'm
the
actually
oldest?
the oldest. Yep.
Oh,
yep,
really?
Yep. I'm the oldest of all my siblings. So yeah, growing up was harsh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause
Put a lot of pressure on you and everything.
yeah,
'cause
there's
you
a
the
lot
oldest?
there's a lot of pressure, but then at the same time, it's like, you're kind of like a first generation immigrant, so
Right.
you're kind of just still learning things from yourself. Too,
You got to
right?
figure everything out.
Yeah, and then like back then, it's in the 90s, it's still kind of like that time like me like Chalocha,
Yeah, 100%.
So like a lot of the cousins, they're into gangs and all this stuff, so like I didn't really get a chance to hang out with my cousins
Right.
like that, other than like you go to the gatherings.
For
But then,
sure.
like outside of that, like my parents, they were like, like so and so are gang members,
Yeah.
don't affiliate yourself and stuff like that. So
Right.
I was like, I didn't know what was right or wrong,
Oh,
right? So I
okay.
just kind of listened to my parents
Right.
and stuff, because I didn't even know what a gang was until I think it was like I was in 3rd grade, and one of my cousins, he was at my he was in the same class as me. I knew he was my cousin because I didn't know like who his parents was, but I remember seeing him at like the family gathering,
Yeah.
right? And then he like one day he came up to me, he was like, "Hey, are you in a gang?" I was like, "What, a game? Like video game? Like shit?" Like,
Yeah, what game you
yeah,
play?
I was like what game? Like
Yeah,
shit.
I play Mario.
Like I was like, dude, I was young, so
Oh,
I was
shit.
like,
Okay.
I was like, dude, this dude's already in a game. Like, dang, that's so cool,
That's what I was gonna say. Dang, I didn't even know they went that young back then.
Yeah, but yeah, he was in 3rd grade, yeah, and then he's like, no, not game, like a gang, and he pulled up his flag, right?
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so he had a flag too, and I was like, oh, I don't know anything about that, like,
Damn, my son's a 3rd grader, bro.
and then yeah, it was just like
We
whoa.
started young.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because he was like, yeah, his older brothers were like in a gang.
That makes
and-
sense
and
when
then,
it's family like that.
Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, he just got jumped in, and he's like, do I want to join it? And I was like, sure, I don't even know, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was still wiping boogers back then, so I didn't know, so
I don't even know what 2 + 2 is.
yeah, so it was kind of like a culture shock,
Okay.
like because like when I came up from from like La Crosse to like the Twin Cities back
Uh-huh.
in like '95 or like that, in La Crosse, I remember like I was young, I was still running around outside, in the neighborhood until like dark, and my parents they
Yeah.
didn't care, right?
Okay.
They just let me go do whatever, but I noticed like when we moved up here to the Twin Cities, it was a little bit different.
Okay.
right? Like we didn't get to go outside like how we used to,
Wait, you came in 95?
Yep.
How old are you?
Shit, I'm 37. I'm turning 38 this year.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, damn, if you came 95 when you were 1, I was like, dude, you younger than me? No way.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we came we came in '89. That's
Okay.
That's when I was
Okay,
one, yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so you came in '89, but you moved to Minnesota in '95.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
That's where the
Yeah.
okay.
I'm confused, fool.
I got you confused. Okay.
Yeah. So from 1989 to like '95, my family would still live in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I went back, because one of my buddies, he's a promoter out there too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jackie.
Shout out Jackie.
Mandatory Entertainment.
The boss of lacrosse.
Boss from lacrosse.
Yeah. So when he booked me for some shows, I went back there, and like I'm just trying to like look at see if I can recognize old
Old faces, like old friends and everything.
or like just old places.
Oh,
you
just
know?
old places that
Yeah,
you
but then
been to,
everything's
yeah.
changed, So
Yeah, I would assume like Wisconsin from back then, cause like I used to live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota,
okay.
and I lived down there back in like 3rd grade, and it was a small community. But then like when I just look up Google Map, I haven't gone down there anymore because we don't have family down there. But my family, my parents there actually sponsored to South Dakota, so they stay there for a while. My dad grew up there, you know.
Yeah.
But I know it's got a lot bigger too, and I'm sure it looked a lot different because just looking at Google Maps. So I get what you're saying. When you go back there, it's like, damn, everything's changed up. Even here in Minnesota, like Twin City, everything's like different.
Yeah, like because even Northside too. You know, like now I go back and visit. You know, like Northside Minneapolis. Like everything's changed. You know?
Is that where you moved to? Minneapolis?
Yep.
Yeah, he was in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Brooklyn
Wisconsin
Park
and
guy, Brooklyn Center
God
guy.
damn.
Yeah. So
He was there
Wisconsin
when the
straight to
tornado
like.
hit.
That was like in what, 2008?
It was like 2005. No, it was like 2008,
3?
89 around there. Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, when that tornado came through, man, I remember I was still working for like the bank, you know, for TCL.
Okay, yeah.
And then like we were working on a weekend, and I just heard like drums. Like, I thought I heard drums.
Oh,
right?
yeah?
So I went outside, and because we were in the basement, you know, we were in the basement, and we're like this call center, you know, for like support and stuff like that. But then like I heard drums. I went outside, and then you know, I just saw the sky is like black.
Right.
You know, it's like 3 p.m. 4 p.m. in the afternoon, but it was like pitch black and green. I was like, this does not look normal, you know. So I went back down, told my coworker, and then we turned on like the news, and it was just like a tornado's touching down in Minneapolis, north side, and we're just like, damn, you know. But then after the tornado came through, after work, I think they declared like martial law.
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah, because like it blew out all the power.
Oh shit.
You know, all the power in north side. So then like everybody had to stay in, but then I just kind of went and cruised around and looked at all the damage and stuff like that. You know,
It was a good time, right? It's like
Yeah.
The heart of
He was like,
Yeah.
what store is broken? I'm gonna go get some
Yeah,
stuff.
it took all the trees, man. Cause like I remember, like I was driving on Fremont, and you know, like it used to be kind of like Chongducha, you know.
Yeah.
But now, like, but after the tornado came through, like it was like
It was bright.
it was bright.
Oh, yeah?
You know, so yeah, it did a lot of damage up there.
God damn, that was pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I remember that night. We were outside. It was like around like 9:10.
Yeah.
And it was still like yellow. It was
Yeah.
still yellow in the sky. But that was in St. Paul, though. I don't know
Forgot
about
where I was.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
You were in West St. Paul.
No, it was not.
You were probably working there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember. I think we were just in the basement. We were on the stairs, and then I remember my dad heard like some lady yelling, yo.
Yeah.
And then my dad was gonna run out there and go help and shit, right? And
Yeah.
my mom's like, no, what are you crazy, dude? There's a whole freaking tornado going on, yo. That shit was funny. It was like, damn, my dad was gonna be a hero, you know.
Yeah.
But no, she probably gone now.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy. What about you, Jackson? Let's hear a little bit about y'all brain.
I was born in.
Laos.
No, I was not born
I'm
in
just
Laos.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was one of the first Hmong Americans to be here
Oh yeah.
in the U.S.
Okay.
So 50 years. So we're probably here 77. Was it 77, Justin?
How would I know? I was born
78 or
95.
77. We're here already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of the early Hmong people.
We were the early. I was born. We came to Decatur. We landed in Decatur, Georgia.
Oh okay.
77. 73.
I don't want to say it on camera, but
74. 74.
yeah.
You ain't know that?
Yeah, fool.
So we first landed in Decatur, Georgia.
Okay.
Yep. And then
Okay.
then my sister was born, and then all of her family is from Madison.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we moved. We went to Madison.
Okay.
Then I was born in '82 there. So
Oh,
I'm 43.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Dang.
I was born in Madison. And then we moved to Appleton. Had my younger sister, and then we moved to Minnesota, like in 1988, 89, one of those.
Oh okay.
Yep.
And that's when the happiness of the family was born.
So ugly, dude.
We ended up we lived in Frogtown first in a duplex.
Man, you went downhill because you were born, folks.
They pretty much did.
Yeah, you
'Cause
fucked
we-
it up.
Dude,
They ended up in the projects.
Yeah, because you.
Dude, that Frogtown house, man, that was like rat territory, yo.
Oh, really?
Oh, he can tell you the story.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much rat in that house, man. Mice and shit, dude.
Was it mice or rat?
Mice and rats.
I don't
know. Damn,
But
dude.
my two older sisters, they went to sleep, right? And next day, they woke up with a dead rat or mouse in the bed because
Oh,
they
really?
squashed it dead to death.
Overall?
Yeah.
God damn.
You know what? Man? Mice come pick up your hair
Yeah.
and take it and build a nest with it. You know what I'm saying?
They do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't know they do that.
I read it off Google, though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, they do that. They do that.
Oh,
That makes
shit.
sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Damn.
Makes sense why I'm bald or something?
Man. Hey,
You know what? Actually, you have here.
you supply like so many family.
I
of
know,
mice,
dude.
man.
That's a whole like 4 generation.
Yeah.
But then we moved to the project. We moved to McDonough.
Yeah.
We got in, so we moved to McDonough, and we start having these younger siblings here.
Yeah.
Man, we've been there forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
The joy.
Oh yeah.
The
You
joy.
done fucked it up. They had it.
Yeah, he done fucked it up.
See?
Because I'm pretty sure after I was born, that's when we were broke.
Yeah, cause you made it like that.
Dude, kindergarten, I went to Como.
Uh-huh.
In the first grade, we moved to the projects.
Okay.
Then I went to Phelan.
Yeah.
I went to Phelan all the way to 6. Then I went to Hazel Park with the homies.
Yeah.
And then Kenneth Johnson.
Okay.
And then I got banned from Johnson. Went to Arlington. That was Arlington. It's now called
Washington.
Washington.
Arlington is called Washington now?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I know that.
bought
It was first called Arlington High School.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it was after I think 2005.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah,
Six,
you're right.
2005 or 6, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went there. Got kicked out the first day there.
Uh-huh.
And I just stayed home. And I went to Harding the following year.
Yeah.
After Harding, I went to Central.
Okay.
And then I went to ALC. And then I went to Como. And that's where I graduated from, Como.
Dude, I was gonna jump into high school, but
It was bad. It was a bad year. I don't want to.
Hey, what did ALC stand for?
Area Learning Center. It's for the
No,
bad
no,
kids.
no,
no.
It's Asians' last chance.
Asia's last chance.
Well, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
say that.
Dude, that's the one back in the day.
That was a good one because you can go anytime you want.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
No, I never went to. I mean, in high school, I wasn't smartest or anything, dude. I barely graduated, but then like in high school, I was kind of like I kind of just fuck around, you know.
Yeah.
Back then in high school, I used to b-boy and stuff, so I know like Lou Finisher and
Yep.
like
Yep.
b-boy
Shout out
one, all
Cypress
those guys.
Side.
Yeah, shout out Cypher Side, and you know I was in that b-boy scene for a little bit, and I went Johnson too, but my last year I almost didn't graduate, to be honest, because you know it was just I just had a lot of credits to catch up on, and then at Johnson we had the senior project,
Yep.
the senior presentation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think other schools
I
had
never
it.
made it Johnson Senior.
Yeah.
Como, we didn't have nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I almost didn't graduate high school too.
Oh really?
I failed.
I almost didn't. I was like 2 years after.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Hub Center.
Okay.
After 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Then I got my diploma.
Oh okay.
What high school did you go to?
So I went to Washburn first,
Washburn.
and then I went there for like 2 years, and then my last 2 years I went to Patrick Henry.
Oh, that's some north side shit.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. Washburn was South Side, but then
South
side.
yeah, but then
So
I went
Southside's
there.
Southside's the good side, right?
No,
Back
Southwest.
Then it was.
Back
So
then-
yeah, so there's so in Southside there's Roosevelt High School,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then there's South High School,
Mhm.
and then there's Southwest, which is like the really good one. That's where like all the Mika people go.
Never heard of it. That's why.
Southwest, yeah,
Never
and then
heard of
there's
Southwest.
and then there's Washburn.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
You
South
gotta have a
Southwest.
starter
Washburn.
jacket back then, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a starter jacket. You get beat up
Yeah.
for the Raiders jacket, right? The starter
Yeah.
jackets.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Starter
I mean-
jackets, yo.
Yeah,
back
but
then, starter jackets and all that they were like broke stuff, Kmart stuff.
No, we were like and then the baggy came along
Yep.
with the long T-shirts, you know.
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
There was Jinkos and pipelines and corduroys and shit like
Yep.
that.
Right.
You were rocking those too.
me, nah, man, I was a good boy, so my parents didn't let me wear baggy jeans.
It's like 没有赖着，跟哪样的跟有的。
And
Yeah.
then you see one dude with the baggy jean with the little ink in the back and shit when they
Yeah.
stole that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the ink. Yeah.
You know that it was stolen.
Yeah, you know
that
it
shit
was
broke
stolen.
off.
That shit
Yeah.
broke off.
Oh, the
You
little
know,
fucking the little
magnet.
freaking magnet.
Yeah, the magnet thing. Yeah.
Well, those belts, right? You remember those belts where you had like the long tail, you know?
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
Davis,
With the
Ben
letters.
Davis
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
letters.
'Cause I remember back then, man, like you gotta be careful where you go because you get checked everywhere
Yeah,
you go, man.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's funny because like one time like I was in middle school and one of this guy, the student, like I know him too, right?
Okay.
He's kind of related to me too, so I know him. He knows me. And one day I was walking, I was going to the bathroom. I saw him in the hallway. He's like, "Hey, what you bang?" I was like I was looking, right? To see
Like
if-
game?
like if he, yeah, like game.
That
But I was looking like, is this dude talking to me? And
Yeah.
then I was looking around and there was nobody in the hallway.
okay, we had technical difficulties. So we left off at talking about back in middle school, you got stopped in the hallway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
By
yeah.
your cousin.
But
Yeah. So one of the other students, he was related to me.
yeah.
I don't know who his parents were, but I remember seeing him at like one of the family
Family
the gathering.
events?
Yeah,
family
y'all.
events, like the picnics and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just probably just like a distant cousin, but I was walking to the bathroom and then he was in the hallway and then he was like, "Hey, what you bang?" I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like looking around. I was like, "What? Like, is this dude talking to me?" Like.
Yeah.
But I think I was like in like 8th grade. You
Okay.
know, 8th grade or so.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, in my mind I was like, yo, bro, like, we've been in middle school for like almost 3 years. Like, who I am.
Yeah. What you mean? What you talking about?
I don't gang bang. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did have a story that's kind of similar to the game banging stuff because I do have like a relative. Back in elementary, we went to the same school and everything, and he was more of the quiet type person too. He was really quiet. He was really timid. He
Those are
was-
the ones you don't mess with. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then out of I haven't seen him for a while. He's a relative of mine too. And then until we get into high school, I found out that he lives like a block away from me. This is when I was living in Frogtown too. And then we'll hang out every now and then. But then like he'll flex on me every now and then.
Yeah.
Whenever we hang out and stuff, and he'll talk that gangbang stuff to me. I'm like, dude, we know each other so long, dude. Like we're family. You
Yeah.
ain't gotta do that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, some people, I don't know how everyone are, but then I know some people, like, they're more connected to their game bang, life, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which I understand, because those are your peers. These are the people you hang out with. I get it.
Yep.
But then for, like, some of us, we just see it as, like, family.
You
know
were
what I'm saying? It's
never,
like-
you were never a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was never a part of it or anything, but then like like if you're a good person, then you don't gotta hang out and everything, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And even if you did do that, that's fine too. I don't
Yeah.
care. But people know that I don't do that stuff,
Yep.
So there's like no reason like flex on me. It's like, dude, I'm a clown,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why you can't flex on me because I'm gonna talk shit, maybe. But then other than that, dude, come on, you already know.
Yeah, a lot of the people, they if they know you ain't that lifestyle,
Right.
They don't like,
Right.
they don't try to put you on, or they try to they don't
Yeah.
they try to keep you out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like that was like kind of like the culture growing up too, with a lot of the older cousins and stuff like that. They knew like that us younger kids, like some of us we weren't part of that
Right,
lifestyle,
right.
We're not into that, so they kind of. When it's like family functions, stuff like that,
Yeah.
like they just keep it family, but then like
Yeah.
it's like, when they get into that kind of stuff, they kind of
When you
push
get
us
to that-
away. you
Get to
know?
that Metrodome New Year.
Oh,
whole
yeah.
different New Year.
Yeah, I remember I
Mexico.
remember walking
Yeah.
walking around New Year, and then like some of the
Yeah.
cousins, you see them, like you see some of the older cousins, you go say what's up to them. They're like, hey, you gotta get away from here. That's
Yeah,
kids,
because now
like,
you're affiliating with them.
Yeah,
they're
they're
like,
like-
oh shit, I know I'm Bobby.
And then all of a
all
sudden,
that.
like,
Hey, bro.
They went,
5-10
we were
minutes
younger.
later, bam, 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 they just start
We
rumbling.
had- we didn't have Excel. We had Civic Center.
Yeah.
Civic Center was a badass.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You could walk around, Man. it
The
was-
hell is that? Metrodome?
No, that's the Civic Center was built before the Excel Center, so they knocked down the Civic Center first.
That's the one in Minneapolis, right?
No, that's St. Paul.
It's just where the XL used to be.
Yeah, it's
Oh, where
it's
the
called
Excel
Civic
used to be?
We
Center.
weren't born yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't born yet.
Yeah, Civic Center. Yeah.
Yeah, Civic Center.
Yeah, no, I had the same experience at soccer tournament too. I saw one of my cousins, who gangs bangs and stuff, right? And I saw him with his buddies, right? I just assumed it was his buddy, right? But that was his, that was his gang. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, what's up, cuz? How you doing? Blah 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 blah. I was like, yeah, like. And then a few minutes later, I just did that quick too, and I walked away. And then all of a sudden, they had a fight right afterwards. I was like, oh shit! If they had to hang out too long, you know what I mean? Let's hop into for you at least VX your DJ life. How'd you
Yeah.
get into that? What made you start that?
Yeah, I always liked the music growing up.
Yeah.
Like I always have a passion for music, but being like a a first immigrant, like first
Generation?
generation
Yeah.
immigrant. You know,
Yeah.
like my parents, they didn't really see like the value in that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and I think like my dad coming over being young too, he didn't understand that like there's any value in arts and all that stuff, right? It's just
Right.
always like it's like the Asian stereotype. It's like study hard and go to school.
Yeah.
stuff like
Doctor,
that, right?
moral,
Yup.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
DJ with your Yee. Who? Yee, yeah. Both.
Oh yeah, Libro, dude.
Libro,
Yeah, shout out to Libro,
bro.
dude. That's a big bro right there.
Really? Damn. Holy shit.
Yeah. And
He
then
went to his house to DJ.
Is that one of like your mentors?
no.
Peers?
So back then when I first started DJing, well let me backtrack. I'll get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
uh,
ahead. Start. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I never got into any music, outside of like music and like school, right?
Right.
But there never anything serious, just because like it just wasn't, there wasn't any value in that. So
Sure.
my parents just never allowed me the time to do that. So so I always had the passion was always there, just not the opportunity.
Okay.
That's why nowadays like I like to enforce giving people opportunity, right? Because I feel like people, if they don't have that, then how can they grow and how can they decide what they like?
Sure. Yeah.
By giving them these opportunities and stuff. But yeah, fast forward. I like the music. I was always like, I was that guy downloading music and stuff like that, right? So in high school and middle school, people always ask me for to burn them CDs and stuff like that, right? Back when we used to have CDs.
LimeWire.
He was
Yeah,
on LimeWire.
LimeWire.
LimeWire and Bearshare.
Dude, I did.
Bearshare?
I've been all of that, dude.
Yeah.
LimeWire, Bearshare, Napster.
Yeah.
There was what was that other one? The one with the K.
That's too much, right?
It was like another
Kazam.
files. Is it Kazam? It was something. It was, I forgot. But then, yeah, man, I was on all of that.
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
Yeah,
you
we're
know?
all on that, right?
Right.
But don't do that anymore. It's
But we
it's
have the dial-up.
copyright.
We got the dial-up though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You can't use the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You use the phone, our internet's gone.
Yeah. That's the thing too. I never had cable
Yeah.
internet until I was I think I was 20, or I was old enough.
You were
had the
old
cheap
enough to
box,
get it
bro.
yourself.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah.
Because back then
Allegedly.
my dad, we had net zero. We had that
Oh,
$4.95
okay.
a month.
Yeah.
You get 56K.
Yeah.
It was like that, or I had to use American Online, those trials and stuff like that.
Right, right.
Each month is up. You get another trial CD. You do that.
Yeah.
Back then we had to struggle. We had to
Yeah.
if you want internet, and your parents, they don't know what that is. You had to find ways to
It's the real hustle right
Yeah,
there.
to-
You
to
really
get
gotta
that.
push that. Yeah.
So yeah, we had there was MSN, there was everything,
Yeah,
so
Monk Talk, IRC, Monk Talk.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
That's where
Jump
you meet
on the
all girls.
IRC too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it started to go to Asian
There
Avenue.
was
Yeah.
Asian
Asian
Avenue. There was
Yeah.
And then
Mon
went to
Talk. There was
Asian
Mon
Town.
Chat,
Yeah.
right?
Agent
Yeah.
Montown.
Monk Talk.
Yeah, Montown.
Yeah, I mean that's all just the funny thing is that's all programming,
Right.
That people that us we were doing as kids, we didn't even know we were writing, computer code,
Right,
and stuff
right,
like
right.
that. So, it's kind of funny, seeing that.
I had a
back then.
pager too. I had a
You
pager.
had a pager
I had a
too?
pager.
Yeah, they have pagers. Dude,
How does pagers even work? Is it like a text thing?
Yeah, they text your phone number, then you get the phone number, you call them.
Yeah, you're like, yo, it's like
But
it's
then
Hey,
you
like
gotta
call
go
me.
to a payphone.
it's like
bro.
limited text.
So you talk into it, and it turns
No,
into
You
So
don't talk.
you
You,
text.
you,
really?
Yeah.
But I thought the
there's only
pager.
there's only 3 buttons,
yeah,
right?
but
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
No, like
Your number pops
yeah,
up.
your number pad, right?
Oh
On your
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
You use that, and then
Your number pops
and then your
up.
number will pop up with
Uh-huh.
a message.
And then you go call them.
It's like an email, but on your or like an email device on
Right.
your phone.
Does it just say the number, or does it say?
It just
It says
just
like
says the number?
yeah,
The newer ones, it'll say.
yeah. Call me.
You-
You
yeah.
can put
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
you go
okay. That's
through
what
your
I'm saying.
contact list and you'll be like, hey, and then you click this number and
You
it's-
call the pager number,
text. Yep. And then you
and
text.
then it'll text it to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it'd be
okay.
like, yo, it would say like, call me, and then like 651, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And then oh shit, freaking Jackson's calling me.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
call
You
him
gotta
back.
go to find
Oh.
payphone or something. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Dude, man, back then they had a lot, dude. And back then, Kamen Rider was the shit too, dude. And they'd be like throwing it around the house. I'd be like, yeah, it's Kamen Rider.
Jackson's over here. Ah,
Dude,
pager.
we play Pogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, with the slippers and shit.
Oh
Little
yeah.
Pogs. There's like ice cream sticks.
Ice cream sticks.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
go around and find the ice cream sticks.
Motherfucker, y'all playing for ice cream sticks?
Yeah,
what the
dude,
hell?
we had to get creative, you know.
Yeah. We didn't have no social media. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we didn't have social media. We had to wait what, like a whole year for Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have
Toys for
that.
Tots.
Yeah.
Around Christmas time.
Yeah,
know
Christmas
what
time, you
I
gotta
did that.
ask your mom to like, yo, mom, you gonna go pick up some
I
toys?
mean? Yeah.
But then we had the rec center, so it was like soccer league.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
baseball and all that stuff. You know.
Right.
That was the
That-
thing in
that's right.
projects.
Yeah.
You had a rec center, so all the kids they went to go
So
play
like
in the
all
rec
the
center.
project, McDonough was against Mount Airy,
Right,
Roseville,
right.
Plaza, everything. It was
Yeah.
competitive back then. You know.
Oh damn, it was competitive like that. I know I did take my kids over to McDonough too because I got family out there, so we did go there a couple times to go get some free stuff too. Just cause shit's expensive, you know what I mean?
There's too many shooters, so they took out all the basketball courts in McDonough.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They used to have basketball tournaments inside the rec center too. I remember
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
there a
yeah,
few
yeah.
times.
Yep.
Oh for real?
Yeah. But yeah, man. I've always liked music,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I finally got the opportunity. I think like back in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
It's about 10 years ago now.
Yeah, about 10 years now. My guy PD Rock,
Okay, Petey Rock.
Right, shout out Petey
Shout
Rock,
Petey
the Rice
Rock.
Channel.
Shout out to PD.
Yep.
Rice Channel.
and also Yecon, the crew,
Yep.
Stargate Danny,
Yep.
you know, Chaos, all of them, you know, like they were running Stargate at that time.
Oh.
You know, because I think PD and the crew, Yecon, and
Yeah.
you know, Danny, Stargate, and all of them to go and DJ. But then I think at that time they were kind of older now too.
Right.
I think they were in like their early 30s or whatever. They've been doing it for a minute, so they didn't really want to commit.
Okay,
Right. So it was so like I think that at that time I was living with one of my buddy Dragon,
Okay.
and you know he likes music too. You know, so you know we both decided that we were gonna do a little DJ battle for our homie Fu,
Okay.
his birthday, right?
That's
Because
what's up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Fu, we were all living together, me, Fu, Dragon, and so it was Fu's gonna do his birthday, you know. So shout out to Fu Montenda.
Yeah.
Tinder.
He likes to do it big, you know, when his birthday. So we're like, all right, so me and Dragon, we're gonna buy our DJ set, and we're gonna have a DJ battle, you know.
Oh, yeah?
just in the house,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So we were just like messing around, but then I think it was around that time where the crew they were going off to some like wedding, right, in Michigan or something, I remember. And
Okay.
they needed somebody to cover, so they reached out to me and Dragon to see if we wanted to go cover them at Stargate.
yeah.
You know, I was like, shoot, I don't even know how to DJ. Like, you know,
Oh,
it was
okay.
just, yeah, we were just like messing around, but then like, you know, we didn't get expected to be put on like that, you know.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
So they're like, yeah, you know, it's okay. You know, PD will be here. We'll all be gone, but then you know, like you guys should be able to do okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so for like the whole week, you know, I remember me and Dragon, we were just like watching YouTube videos and finding out how to DJ, how to like transition,
Yeah.
how to beat match, how to do all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, you know, when the day came, you know, we just went and then we just kind of you know, just did whatever, right?
Okay.
It was like I remember it was like I didn't even know what the heck I was doing, but the crowd was dancing. They
loved it.
They loved it. So I
Yeah.
was just like, all right, shit, I must be doing something right.
You doing
right?
something right, yeah.
Stargate,
Yeah.
of course. They right.
Yeah. So, so then, yeah, you know, so me and Dragon, we just kind of alternate, you know, switch on and off, you know, and I think, you know, after that, you know, the guys that came back, they're like, oh, you know, why don't you guys just start, you know, DJing and stuff,
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
so it just kind of kicked off from there. And then me and Dragon, we just sort of kind of, you know, just kind of DJ'd at Stargate, you know,
Okay.
DJ'd there, helped out, you know, the crew and them with their, I think they called it like Bangkok Nights.
Bangkok.
Right, you
Nights.
remember Bangkok Nights, Yecon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Bangkok
that's
Nights.
louder.
Oh, nice at Stargate.
yeah, so that's how we started. So me and Dragon, you know, when we helped the
Yecon
crew
right
with
there.
that, you know, they came back and then you know we just started DJing with them too, and then they, you know, like they're like, oh, you guys just kind of take
Yeah.
over, you know, because we're older now.
Come say hi. Come
You
say hi to
know.
camera real quick. just pop in real
Yeah.
quick. Just say what's up.
Yeah, just
Camera's right here. Yeah. As you
so,
come right
so
there.
yeah, man, big shout out to Yecon, the crew,
Hell yeah.
PD Rock, you know, Stargate Danny for giving us the that opportunity, you know, because
yeah,
without that
Danny
part.
right
You know, I would have never, you know, started DJing. You know.
What you doing over there, dude?
Yeah. So yeah, we DJ'd until like I think Stargate got shut down,
Okay.
and then you know, me and Dragon, we kind of both, you know, we kind of both went our separate ways.
Sure.
You know, just because I think at that time we both
For
had
sure.
different like ideals.
Okay.
You know, so he
Yeah.
went in and started Reload Entertainment.
Okay.
You know, so shout out to the Reload guys too. Those guys
Shout out,
are
y'all.
our family too.
Okay.
And then me, I went and focused more on the like the personal gigs.
Okay.
I would call it, right, or
Yeah.
the freelance.
The freelance
Yeah,
style, where you
yeah.
kind of just go to wherever who needs a DJ and just
Yep.
kind of do it for them.
Yeah, it'd be more like it's more like you know, business oriented, where you know you have clients, right,
Right.
and then you go and DJ for them and stuff like that. So you know, that's where we kind of went about with that.
Sure.
And then I think the Reload they kind of slowed down now.
Yeah.
A lot of the members are a lot older now. Everybody's kind of moved on with their lives
Okay.
too,
Okay.
and stuff. You know, but for me, yeah, you know, it's just ever since then, you know, I'm just still doing that grind too, right? Just still kind of
Mhm.
DJing on the side, and now creating, you know, BBD with these guys, with
Hell yeah.
Jackson, Danny,
Yeah.
Huey, Surprise, Jack
Yeah.
GB, you know, Kobe, you know. So yeah, that's the DJ story.
So, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
So, I know I've read it. I read your pinned post.
Yeah.
But for people that can't read, I mean that didn't read,
Yeah.
Damn.
That don't want to
that
read.
didn't read, that don't want to
Right.
read.
Right.
How did you two or you guys' group come up with BBD, and what does BBD stand for?
Wait.
I'll have VX.
Okay.
say, 'cause I-
But before that, I still had a question about BBD. I mean, not BBD, but then the DJ part.
Yes.
Just what's your like main genre? Because I notice people do stick with like a genre. I mean, like of course they do
Yeah.
everything, but what's like your main genre?
My main genre, I like hip hop. You know,
Okay.
like I always grew up liking hip hop. I do like EDM too. You know, K-pop.
Mhm.
You know, you grow up with some of that too.
For sure.
You know, so I do kind of like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the main thing is just hip hop.
Okay.
Main genre. You know, and for most DJs, you know, they DJ like they based on the genre they like.
Right.
You know, because you know some DJs they do just strictly EDM.
Right.
Some they do play both hip hop and alternative and stuff like that. You know, so you know people they just like to play what they like.
But for you, it's like we grew up with the hip hop, a
Yeah,
little bit
yep,
R&B,
yep.
K-pop, a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. I grew up in that kind of that environment, right?
Right. Right.
Where you know you that's more of the music that you grew up listening to. So
you know how to like mix it into like a
Yep.
and transition into another
Yep.
song and stuff.
yep.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, going on to the whole BBD question that
yeah,
Justin
for
just had.
that's for both of y'all.
Yeah.
So repeat your question. My bad. You got
How
it.
did your group, or since you two are here, how did you guys come up with the name BBD? And how did you guys come together? And what does BBD stand for? Because I know there's still people out there like trying to come up with names for BBD just because they don't know what it stands
we
for.
didn't come up with the name.
Yeah, we didn't come up with the name.
We didn't come up with the name.
BBD.
Yeah. So the story is it started with you know
We're hanging out.
2022.
Yeah.
I think 2022. What was it? 2023. 2023.
23.
Yeah, 2023 December. Danny. All right. Danny from Unison.
Shout out Danny.
Shout out to Danny at
He just
Unison.
FaceTime me, but
Yeah.
He not here?
So Danny reached out to me and asked if I can help you know, help set up a concert for him,
Yeah.
right? So he called me, he's asked me if I can help set up a concert for him. Unison has like a date that one of the parties they canceled, right? So they have an open date, and I was like, yeah, you know, like, I can do that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I can gather some of the artists, but you know, if we do that, you know, we have to make sure we pay the artists, and we have to make sure that it's a free event, right? Because it's Christmas time, it's the holidays, you know, let's do something for the community, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And then Danny went and
That's nice.
yeah, I was like, you know, the only way I'll do it is if it's free, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like a lot of people, they enjoy the music, but you know, they don't some people they don't like like they don't have the funds to come out or whatever, right?
Exactly.
We are still planning to do a free concert every year.
Yeah. So so with that, and I think it's been kind of like a what is it called, like a tradition,
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, so Danny went in and asked some of the owners, and they agreed. And then when he messaged me, I reached out to some of our artists, brought them up. It was a big success.
Yeah.
It was a packed house.
Yeah.
So then next comes January. Danny said, yeah, they want to do something similar again.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, bet. So then let's let me get some of the artists that are kind of like, some are kind of established, and then some are
Right.
still coming up,
Yeah.
right? It's just to kind of help promote like the newer artists and stuff too.
100%.
So so that's why we got Zuvi on that concert.
Killer.
Yeah, because
that was a
that
killer.
was when he just dropped like Koyo Kutsapa. We're like,
Oh
he
my
just dropped that
god.
too.
really?
yeah,
Hell
that's right.
yeah.
Like nobody knew who Zoo was.
No.
Yeah.
But then we're like, yo, like I remember Zoo showing me that song like when
Shout out to Zoo.
Shout out to Zoo, man.
when before he released it, I was like, bro, like this is gonna be a hit.
Dude.
Zeus
You know?
fire.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a classic. 100%. That's a classic
Yeah,
right
Like,
there.
yeah.
I'm telling
I
you.
don't know if y'all heard his other songs, but his other songs are fire too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been listening to him before that song even came out, but
Mm.
his other songs are
We have
fire.
one that stopped released. Only V plays it himself.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
He gonna DJ it at Unison one night.
Just a little
Yeah.
hint. This is where it's
Yeah.
from. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why like when I started like and then we just had like Zoo perform a bunch of times,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to get like the exposure out too. So
For sure.
So yeah, so when they asked me for that January one, I was like, we got to make it free again.
Yeah.
So we did that too, and then after that, we were like, we kind of talked, and at that time, we kind of hang out, right? Me, Jackson, Huey, Kobe. Well, Kobe was living with me, and then Huey was kind of staying with us a little bit too, and then Surprise,
Yeah.
and then Jackson moved in March
Yeah.
of that year.
Yeah.
So we all kind of just hang out, like friends and stuff
Right,
like that. And then
right.
we're always out, out about supporting the community too, right?
For sure.
And the nightlife and stuff like that. So, we just thought like, all right, so what about we just make like a group,
Yeah.
right? And
might
then
as well.
this group, let's try to like use it as a platform for like the artists and then like the community, things like that, And then we didn't know what to call it stuff yet. Until I think after we did Monster's fundraiser, because Monster,
Yeah.
shout out to
Shout out
Shout out
Monster.
to Midwest Monster. Shout out
Yeah.
to Monster. My best
Midwest
friend here.
Monster.
Yeah,
Yep.
Monster had a stroke that December, and we and then he was gonna do his birthday in February, but then because of the stroke he wasn't able to. So some of the guys that got together like, hey, how about if we host that party for him, right? And then we do it as a fundraiser, to help him with like his medical bills and things like that. And so then we called, we made a phone call, call a bunch of artists and see if they can come and support, because I know
Yeah.
Monster and Jackson, Midwest Monsters and them, they sponsored and they helped out a lot of
100%.
artists growing up, right?
100%.
Like on the come up, like they helped like David Yang, Channing, all of them too. And
Yeah. I want to add something to that. I think if we don't have Midwest Monster
yeah,
and BBD, I don't think this community would even happen.
Yeah.
That's what I like too.
It wouldn't be as
Yeah.
big
More
as
about
how it
giving-
is.
Helping
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
community.
You guys are always like giving and sponsoring and always
Yeah.
supporting the
100%.
community. That's what I like.
yeah,
I
And
think
the thing is, we don't keep the money. We don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Our
I'm
funds,
not saying
we
you guys keep
just-
the money, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
you guys always support the community.
yeah.
Without y'all, I think it's
Yeah,
it's
we like
nowhere.
to set by example, because like in any community, right? Even the Hmong community, or like not even the Hmong community too, like just like the St. Paul community too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or the local community, like we all we have to kind of rely on each other to help push each other, right?
100%.
Exactly.
May it be like financially or like strategically, or maybe just like help each other with knowledge, right? On how to like make it, or how to like better your business or better your goals, right? Or how to achieve those.
Yep.
Because it's like the the big brother helping you, right? Like a big bro or a mentor helping you when you as when you're on the come up or when you're growing up.
Right.
Because like even me from experience, right? Like I didn't have that big brother or whatever, right? Like growing up. So then like now me being a big brother to other people too, you know, like family and cousins, things like that. You know, I see that, you know, their struggles, they do still struggle, but then they struggle less,
For sure.
you know? So like, I think within the community, you know, there's people that, you know, that the people that help, you know, give back and stuff like that, they're the ones that, you know, are making an impact, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like in like our generation, because like for example, like we're in a way first generation here. You know what I mean?
Orgasms,
Yeah, it's popping right now.
Orgasms here.
But then like in a way, because we're like first generation here, we kind of went through the hardship of like dealing with like we got to figure it out ourselves. You know what I
Yep.
mean? We had a lot of figuring it out to do, and even like, you know, I used to be boy, but obviously I don't do it no more. But I could see where it goes from there for even like Lou Fincher. Shout out Lou, Cypher Size. You know, I grew up with that guy. Used to break with him too. Obviously he's way up there,
Yeah.
but you know he's like a peer of mine too. That I see that as like up there. Now he's way up there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yep.
He's breaking for the Timberwolves.
Yep,
At
yep.
halftime and everything. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, he's
Yeah.
like that. Yes. So I mean, like, you know, us from the 80s and 90s to uplift everything like what you guys are doing. You guys helping artists and helping promoting, even making it a free concert event. you
Yeah,
know,
and making it like a tradition, like what you
Yeah.
said.
yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you know, this year at J4 too, you know, we fought really hard for them to make it free.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because I think usually for the past few years they've been doing it at the beer garden,
Okay.
you know, and it's a good idea too, you know, because you go you drink beer and be able to enjoy like a show, right?
Right.
And stuff like that. But for us, you know, we kind of looked at it like, you know, there's a good amount of people that don't drink, you know, but
That's true.
but still want to
That's true.
enjoy the music and stuff like that,
That's
right?
VX right now. He ain't trying to drink, but it's okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
So, but then, yeah. So like, so then we told the committee, right, or the United Moan family, we told them that, hey, you know, if like when we were bidding for like the place, right, we're like, we want to make it free
Sure.
because like we noticed like a big population of the attendees, they're younger.
Yeah.
They can't go to like the nightclubs or the after parties that are like 18, 21
And this
plus.
is like the closest thing to it.
Yeah, and this is the closest thing to it,
Right.
and this is where they can see like their favorite artists perform, right? Like they
Right.
they can see it here, and they can like hopefully they can get inspired too, right? Because
100%. Yeah.
because like there's like I think that's when you actually get your inspiration, is when you're like a younger individual and you see somebody on stage or
Yeah,
somebody like
yeah.
that just wows you, right?
100%.
And then that's where it opens like those doors where you're like, hey, you know, like that's something I want to try. You know, I want to do something like that, right? So I feel like, you know, a lot of kids nowadays, they don't really get the opportunity to see their Hmong artists, you know, and
100%, yeah.
stuff. So that's why we did fight
Yeah.
for it to be free, and that's why it is free, right? The show is free this year for all ages.
I'm so glad that you guys did that and like spoke up for our younger youth
Yeah.
community. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, before, yeah, it used to be like, yeah, you got to pay a little bit, but then like being free. I know like there was another year. I don't know how often it was free, but for you guys to do that and bring all these artists, like if y'all haven't seen the headliners on all the fucking artists
Yeah.
that are out there, it's big.
Yeah.
Y'all about to miss out if y'all didn't,
Yeah.
if you guys don't show up, because like I know BBD, they work hard to get all these artists to come
Yeah.
out. You know, they really do a great job when it comes to concert and find the artists and like bringing it together and like making it work. I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all, man, me and Justin, we've been out here taking photos with them, dude. They bring a lot of energy to the event. If y'all don't show up, dude, it's gonna be missing out, dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, dude. Like, I appreciate you guys doing that, and you know,
thank you.
to be honest, like, I think you guys are like, you know, you guys are leaders. BBD Entertainment, are leaders in our community, just to put like the youth into something like that. Because like, of course, every year we have this soccer tournament, but I think when it comes to soccer tournament, you know, I see it like y'all OG one.
Yep.
Just saying from
OG.
perspective, you know what I'm saying?
OG, Oma.
Yeah. And then like for you guys to like in a way speak up for us and like say like, hey man, we gotta do it for you too, because
Yep.
the youth do
Yeah.
come out here. You know?
And for y'all to become part of that council or part of that
Committee?
yeah,
yeah,
that committee, yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. It's good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I like to see. I mean, I like to see that all of y'all are in there,
Yeah.
especially like we're this close, right?
Mhm.
And I'm glad that you guys are there. And like,
100%.
Yeah.
Peponea,
You know,
Yeah,
but then I
you
think now, you know, like us being at the age where like, you know, our uncles, our dads, and like those leaders are now, you know, back then, right?
Right.
It's like we're the ones who are now coming to fill in those roles.
We really are, bro.
You know what I mean?
We really are.
I
So
mean-
we're at that age, right? So my thing is, you know, like just like, you know, if I know that, you know, like I have good intentions, right? Why don't I try to make a difference, you know, with the intentions that I have, right? Like other than, you know, maybe somebody out there that might not have
Yeah.
those intentions, you know. It'll be a little bit better, you know, for people to kind of like, you know, go and
Come say hi,
come
Ant.
say hi to the
Come
camera.
say hi, camera.
This is another member of BBD.
There's another member of BBD.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, like it's good, you know, like I think, you know, seeing like being on the committee and stuff like that, you know, and working with like, you know, the United Hmong family for J4
Yeah.
and for like the River Center last year, you know, I do see that they are now open for change,
Yeah.
you know, because like, you know, back then I think like the thing was they think that it was being run by like a bunch of old heads, you know,
Oh,
that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
understand the
Yeah.
culture and stuff like that.
Right.
But you know, like now,
It's a completely new generation.
yeah, it's
Because
a
I
new
mean,
generation, you know.
Yep.
So
like because we're really our generation is really in the middle of their generation
Yep.
and this new generation coming
Yep,
up.
yep.
You know what I mean?
yep, because like you know, with their generation too, you know, it's like they didn't grow on like, you know, technology like how we
Yeah.
are, right? Like we're old enough to remember like the Walkmans
Yeah.
and CD players, but then we're still, you know, we're still like young enough to know what, you know, to know how to like do TikTok
Yeah,
videos
yeah.
and all that stuff, right? So it's like,
Can you imagine your dad just like to music?
yeah,
I'm just saying that for
Yo,
real.
Dad on TikTok.
yeah. So you know what I mean, like we're in a good spot, right? So like our
Right.
generation, we're in a good spot, you know. So I think, you know, with all this, you know, it's good to bring our inputs to those committees,
100%.
you know, and make it, you know, just make it more up to date, you know, more, you know, more for them to be more knowledgeable of like the trends and what's going on in the community, you know.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, but then going back to the story about, you know, BBD, you know, after Monsters fundraiser, you know, we decided what, you know, we're gonna make the group and what we're gonna call it. We were thinking about names and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then Kobe, you know, brought up Bad Boy Danny.
Okay.
Yes, because it's a name that Monster kind of gave Danny. You know.
So blessed by Monster,
Yep.
BBD stand for Bad Boy Danny.
Yeah, Bad Boy
Entertainment.
Danny. Yeah, so because we didn't know what to call it, and then when Kobe recommended that, we're just like, all right, you know, that's cool. You know,
Fuck it,
like,
just roll with
let's
it.
just roll with it.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
You know, and
And then Kobe's laugh comes after.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Kobe, man.
Shout out Kobe, dude.
Yeah.
Cali.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
Kobe was
Cali,
Yeah,
he was the guy that named the group,
that's what's up.
but then he named it from the name that Monster, you know, gave
Yeah.
Danny. So that's how the name come about. And you know, it's almost like the BBD. You know, it has a significant meaning behind it too. You know, because you know with BBD, you know, people usually think it's a bad thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's a good attention grabber, but then at the same time, you know, the ideology behind it is
Yeah.
that, you know, even though something is bad, there's still good that can come out of it.
It's still good. It's
Right?
BBD,
Yeah.
okay?
Plus, we
Yeah.
want to continue Monsters.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we want to,
Yep.
yeah, 'cause-
Without y'all, without Monster, I don't think these events would
yeah,
happen.
because
Yeah.
Monster and them, they grew up like, you know, sponsoring not just like artists too, like sports teams.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
like
sports
BV,
team, dude.
Yeah.
Black Venom,
They
that-
do all that.
all that.
Yeah,
you know.
Monster. I think Monster was like first one who actually like, bam. You know, I sell shirts, I sell all that, but I'm gonna sponsor these team, and I'm a do concerts and all that too.
Yeah.
He's been a big part in the community
Yeah.
for Minnesota.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure,
given
for the Asian
he's given a lot
100%.
back to like the Hmong community with him like
100%.
being Lao, right? Not
Yeah.
having being Hmong, he's given a lot back.
No, he's not
You
even
know,
Hmong,
like
you
to
know?
the Hmong community, Lao
Right.
community, the Karen community,
100%. All
you know, the
Asian
Cambodian
all the
community,
Asian-
like
all
all the,
the
you know what I mean?
All the Asian community.
Like he just doesn't stick to one,
Yeah.
yo. So that's
All your third world.
yeah. So yeah, man, we do take after that, you know,
Yeah.
that mission too is to help the community like him, you know.
100%.
So we do, you know, like this past year we have sponsored a lot of sports teams too and local businesses,
seen
right?
that,
Like
yeah.
like we like to plug in businesses and help them grow and stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's,
Reach out to us if you need
yeah.
anything.
So
too.
so yeah, you guys need any help promoting your business? You know, you guys need anything? Yeah, help reach out to us, man. Because like I
Sports
said, you know,
sponsorship.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day,
Hit
the
us
only
up.
thing we lose is just, you know, we just lose a little bit of time to come and help you shine, right?
100%. Yeah.
You know what? Here's something I like. Everywhere I go, I see BBD banner.
There's a lot of BBD,
Yeah.
man. They
I see
really
BBD
out here.
banner, and it's a good thing. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like we're just out here to, you know, help whatever way we can, you know.
100%. Dude.
Yeah.
No, I fucking love it, dude. Hey, real quick, I need to go take a break real quick,
Okay.
so I'm gonna take this shot just to BBD, okay? Shout out BBD right here. After this, we'll be right back. I gotta take a quick piss. This guy, gotta go out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, let's wrap this up
Okay.
first, Jackson.
Let's wrap this up. We back.
Okay, we back, man.
We
All
back.
right,
We back.
let's talk about like what's coming up for you guys, because you guys are
Yeah.
gonna host soccer tournament this year at
Yep.
the stage.
Yep.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so yeah, this year for the J4 soccer tournament, we won the bid for managing the main stage for the performances. We decided to make it free because I think for the past few years they had a performance stage at the beer garden. So we felt that, you know, a lot of the people that come to the tournament, they don't, but majority of them are younger adults, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
then people that are competing, so they might not want to go out to the night parties and stuff like that, or they may not be old enough, but that's just not their scene. So we want to put on a free show for them, for those people.
Yup.
You know, because J4, it's the biggest, you know, Hmong event,
100%.
you know, in the world, right?
Yup, yup.
Or at least in the U.S.
At least in the U.S. for sure.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
So then, you know, we know that nowadays, like a lot of people, they move out.
Yeah.
They move out of the Twin Cities, out of Minnesota,
Right.
and you know they live in like all these like different areas throughout the country, right? But then, you know, the Twin City is still a hub for the Hmong community. You
Right.
know, it's a big hub. We have a lot of support here because, you know, there's two cities next to each other. We have a very big concentration of Hmong population here. So,
100%.
you know, no matter what, like people that they still move out and stuff, you know, they still have family here.
Yup.
So what's a better event than during the summer vacation, you know, where all the kids come back and visit, you know, their grandmas, their cousins,
100%.
their aunties, uncles, and stuff like that, you know. And with them being moved away, you know, they may have lost touch with their roots, you know, or their identity as like being Hmong, you know.
Yup.
So then, you know, with the tournament, you know, with all these Hmong artists and performers, you know, it's a good chance, you know, or a good opportunity to kind of have those people that moved away or that aren't used to seeing the Hmong culture, right?
Right.
Or the Hmong traditions or music or even experiencing that. It gives them a chance to come back and experience that through this event.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, it's one of the biggest events out there.
100%.
You know, so we want to use the opportunity to, you know, just kind of inspire the next generation to say, hey, you know, no matter where you go in life, you know, just remember your roots, remember your identity, you know, and you know, that you know, that's mainly it, you know.
100%.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, we have big plans, you know, but then, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we want to do that we can't do. So you know, hopefully we'll see how this year goes. Next year, maybe if it's successful, maybe we can, you know, try to do something better, right? Or try to do something bigger, you know,
Yeah.
and
Hey.
stuff like that.
Hey, you know what? I I hope that you guys host every year.
Man,
Alright.
it's a process and it's a lot of work.
You know,
I've been
it's just hope.
yeah, we've been busy. We've been busy with a lot of stuff. So it's not easy to put together these events. There's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of cover. So that's it. That's all we have going until J4. Mainly our first. For the past couple months, that's been our main focus. Just getting the artists. Coordinating all the sponsors and everything. So it's been pretty busy. So after J4, then we are having another concert at the end of August.
Oh shit! I know.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So that one,
Part 2.
yeah, everybody just keep a lookout.
Whoa!
We're in the mix of getting our artist lineup put together. But as you guys have been to BBD events, it's a good vibe. We like to keep a positive vibe for people to just
100%.
come out, have a good time.
Hey, that concert was crazy.
Yeah,
Here's the
I
last-
couldn't move at all.
We're gonna give y'all a clue, okay?
No,
no
clue.
No clue.
We gotta
No
focus on
clue.
J4 first.
For the ones that couldn't make it in.
No.
Y'all is down.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, we'll have like surprise performers again. Yeah, I think at the end of August it's a good opportunity, or it's a good time for people to come out and enjoy themselves before they go back to school and before the summer ends.
100%.
So
Yeah.
it'll be a good end of the summer concert.
Yeah.
And we like to put on new artists.
Yup.
Upcoming artists and stuff like that, serve as a platform for them to kind of put their work out there.
Yeah.
So we will be having a lot of new artists at that concert. But yeah, we're excited for it. But then we got to get over J4 first.
For sure. For
That's
sure.
the main goal right now. So
Can we read off a little bit of like who's gonna be at the J4 concert? Because I got it up right here.
yeah. So the J4 event, we decided to call it Monglywood. The reason why Monglywood is that we see that the Twin Cities, right? It's like a hub. It's a hub for the Hmong community. We have a lot of because it's so concentrated. There's a lot of things going on
100%.
here, right?
Yep.
Like the community here is a lot. It's a lot more. I would say it's stronger because of the placement of Hmong people.
Yeah,
right.
that's
We're
very
all in the
true.
metro, the St. Paul,
We are.
Minneapolis area.
It's a lot more condensed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like like Wisconsin where every
It's a little
it's a little bit
spread
spread out.
out. Yeah.
Cali, it's a little bit spread out too,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But then and Minnesota, it's just the Twin Cities.
It's very
you know?
tight
It's
knit.
the Twin
right
Cities
here.
and stuff
Yep.
like that. So we call it Monglywood because it's where all the stars is gonna come and shine, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think with us being that part, we have to kind of be some of the pioneers to lead the way, right? To lead the
100%.
way for the rest of the community and stuff
Yup.
like that. So this year we're bringing back Boom Bat Village. So if you guys don't know what Boom Bat Village is, they used to have it at J4 too. It's been kind of on hiatus, but it's mainly more for like hip hop, breakdancing.
It's the
there's
B-boy scene
MCs.
for sure. It was a big thing.
I
so-
might do a windmill.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! I want to see that.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So we had the opportunity to work with Du Cycle Lee.
Yeah.
He's a big.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Du
Cycle Lee.
Yeah, we're working with him. We're working with Edman Unity.
Yeah.
They're a dance, a group of dancers here in Minnesota too.
Sure.
And also with Cheng Shong from Techno Movements.
Hell yeah. My boy Chang.
We're working with all those guys to bring back Boom Bat Village, and we're gonna have a cipher, as well as there's gonna be a break dance competition, as well as a freestyle competition.
Oh, hell
so,
yeah.
So we're gonna.
Vince,
you know
you
what I
want to
mean?
battle?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can do a flare.
Hell no. The flare was the one thing I can't do, dude.
Yeah. We decided to bring that back because break dancing has always been kind of like a part of J4 too.
100%.
Now that we're celebrating like 50 years of Hmong people in the United States,
Yeah.
because I remember when I was young, growing up seeing like all the breakers at the tennis courts, and they
At
were
the
just
tennis court, right?
yeah, and they were just
Yeah.
breaking
Yeah.
on like
Yeah.
Y'all didn't know
cardboard,
about
you
the
know.
tennis court.
It wasn't even.
Yeah.
It wasn't technically in the Hmong, soccer tournament event.
It was
always
outside.
outside.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
outside.
100%.
Outside the tennis court. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and they used to come and break it up too, because I think the people
Yeah.
be fighting and they come and
Yeah.
break it up,
It
and
gets
everybody
crazy.
would just disperse and
You're
come
right.
back later, you know.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
So it's been an important culture, I think, with us Hmong people
Yeah.
and J4 too
100%.
specifically. So that's why we decided we wanted to bring that back this year in celebration for the 50th, because that's hip hop itself plays a big inspirational role for like the Hmong people in the urban
Yeah.
areas.
Yep,
Growing
100%.
up in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, like. Where we've been exposed to the culture a lot, so
100%.
we have to pay kind of homage to it too, and stuff like that. And some of the artists, the headliners we have is Chening, Shong, Surprise, GY Yang. They're all Minnesota natives, but a lot of people, they tell me like, why you guys always having them perform?
Alright.
Well, like they drop music, they drop that fire.
Come on, man.
And
Come on, man.
And with this event, like you have people traveling from all over the country. There's people traveling from France,
Hell
from
yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
See them, right?
They don't
Hell
get a chance
yeah.
to see it.
Come
So
on, man.
come and see them for free. At the
Yeah.
soccer tournament. And then late at night, if you want to go out, then go out to like the night parties.
Go and shout out to
Yeah,
Oyo.
Oyo's throwing a big party at Mid.
Shout out to Oyo.
Okay,
have a
let's
good time
go.
over there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yo.
So like everybody, there's a thing for everybody
Come
that
join
weekend.
Oyo too, y'all.
Right.
Yo, shout
That
out
man-
Oyo.
Yeah, Oyo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oyo.
There's a good, you know what I mean? There's a thing for everybody to do at that weekend. Like the people that don't want to go out, the kids that can't go out, they can see the artists perform at Monleywood. All the the people that come in town want to go and party, they can go party at Mid with Oyo.
Oh, it's gonna be hot.
So like there's a lot of festivities, a lot of things going on.
It's gonna be
You
hot.
know, so but yeah, we also did have Korsu from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He was gonna come perform, but due to like family unforeseen circumstances,
Yeah.
he's not able to make it anymore. So
Okay,
we just want to send prayers to him and his family. All right, they're going through
Shout out
Condolences.
Korsu.
some stuff right now, so we
Yeah.
want to send our condolences to Korsu. We just want to let them know, BBD, we always got your back too. Yeah, but we got a lot of performers other than music artists. We have Cypher Side, dance
100%.
studio coming out with two of their a couple of their dance teams.
Shout out Lou Finisher
so
right
Lou
there.
Finisher,
Yep.
most humble guy out there. One of the
That's
most
the
humblest.
traditional Hmong dances too. So
Yep, and then we got
too.
with some line dancers, traditional dancers coming out too. So everybody come and check it out. We also have like cultural performers too, coming out to play instruments and things like that. So it's gonna be a good vibe.
I'm telling y'all,
Good
dude.
vibe.
I'm telling y'all.
It sounds fire, dude. It sounds fire.
I'm telling y'all, dude. Y'all not gonna get disappointed, dude. I'm telling you, when BBD take control of like a concert event, I'm telling y'all gonna see some artists y'all love. Y'all gonna see some artists that you guys want to see. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fucking hot.
Yeah,
Hey, we just might go live
yeah,
with hotspot, but it gonna be like
yeah. Yeah, man. Like for sure, come and check us out. Because we're also putting on newer artists too. Like artists that are, just up and coming. And then giving them the opportunity to shine at the big stage. Because. Like I remember me being, like a younger adult too. Seeing people perform on these stages.
100%.
So like Bon Jovi back in the day. Like it just, I'm sure like a lot of the artists now, they find that inspiration from seeing people perform at
For
events
sure.
like this. You
Yeah.
know? So let's take this opportunity to inspire the next generation, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Right now, my favorite song is from Lee Hyung, right?
Yeah. Lee
Yeah.
will be there.
His shit is fire, dude. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie,
he
dude.
is gonna
Shout out
sing
you,
the
bro.
national anthem.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
sing the national
11.
anthem.
Oh, yeah.
At 11 a.m. at the tournament.
11
Oh, that's what's
yeah.
up, dude. Shout out Lee Hyung, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Big
Lee.
shout out Lee Shong,
Yeah.
man. He's part of the BBD family
Hell
too.
yeah,
you know,
that shit is crazy, dude. Like,
And
it's-
he will be performing the halftime.
Yep, and there's a halftime show
There's a
Oh,
for
halftime,
the
yeah.
for the soccer
Yeah.
soccer championship.
Ah,
So Lee's
shit.
gonna be performing.
Ah,
you know,
shit.
on their team,
he
so-
gonna be famous.
Ah, shit. Hey, man, shout out to you, bro. But
If he not famous by now, he gonna be like super famous.
Yo, but Lee, him and GY got a song coming out.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all just wait
Hey,
for that one.
I know both of them can hit the notes.
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
both of them can hit the
Yeah,
notes.
that'll be a good song once it gets released. I think they're shooting the music video. I think sometime this month.
Okay.
And once they're done, they're gonna release the song. But keep a lookout for that one. That one, I tell you, it's good.
It's good?
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. No, 100%, dude. That's fucking crazy. I can't wait for our fucking second tournament. Do you got any last question, bro?
Nope, that's simple.
Y'all got anything? Y'all want to know anything from us, or what's up? You
I
guys
just
got
want
questions?
y'all to come join us
Yep.
during the day and go join Oyo during the nighttime, okay, y'all?
Yep.
Shout out to Oyo too.
Yeah, shout out to Trey and Oyo and
Trey,
Lane and all of them, all
Oyo,
right?
Lane Pong, all those stuff. Yep,
Yeah.
all of them.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, man. Oh yeah, go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, one more thing too. Yeah, other than that too, some of the night party, there's also Montinda too, man. My bro Fushong, can't forget about him.
Okay,
too.
Montender.
Shout out to Fu.
Yeah,
Shout
you
out
know.
for
Yeah.
If you don't want to see
Wherever you
performance
are.
and you just want to dance the night away, Montinda at Doghouse, man.
Doghouse, it
Yeah.
is. Montana,
Doghouse.
shout out to Fu.
But if you want to see some performances, you
CEO
know, Oyo.
Montana.
All right, Myth.
I'm telling you, dude, that's gonna be a spot, dude. No, 100%, dude. Hey, before we close out, I like to just appreciate like my guests, 100%. Like I see both y'all. To me, I'm the oldest, okay? So I see y'all as like my older brothers too. To be honest,
Yeah.
I see how hard you guys work and put effort into like just building the community with just BBD Entertainment and everything, and just like reaching out and everything, and just like try and give a hand to these new artists or just people in general, just like build them up, like even today, 100%. Like I appreciate y'all so much
Yeah.
to even come out and just do this podcast. I know we've been working on it for
Yeah.
a while, but I've always seen you guys as a big bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, you Justin's big bro, but respectfully, dude, I see you as a big bro
Yeah.
too.
Thank you.
So thank you guys so much for even coming on and just like giving us a little bit of like your insight about your upbringing, what y'all do.
Yep.
For me,
just a little bit of love, and we appreciate to the max.
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Hey, to all the youngsters, man, who wanna come, want to do this, man, come talk to us, man. I
Yeah.
need to retire here soon.
Yeah, man, we need to set it up for like the next
Yeah,
generation.
we need
you
to
know what I mean?
retire. We just want to
What?
come. We just want to come join the fun now.
I swear, y'all just started, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, we've been doing this
Yeah.
for a while though,
He had a 401k, but Midwest Buzzer, he started a new one, so he got a new 401k.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, man.
We just want to come out and have fun. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we just
Now,
want to
yeah.
have fun.
I feel you.
We
Bring
just
the
wanna
vibe.
We just want this to keep going.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
If
Yeah,
anyone youngsters want to come out and want to do this,
Yeah.
come holler at us. We'll
Yeah,
help
holla
them
at
too.
us, man. We'll
help 'em out.
We'll help y'all to give back. The thing is, you give back to the community will give back to you.
Yeah.
You gotta support the community for the community to support you. That's
You
that's
gotta
the
give
moment saying.
to receive. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%.
I
And
like
we feel
it.
that
I
for
like
sure.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
We feel that for sure. So,
Yeah.
just want to say, I appreciate y'all so much, dude. 100%.
Yep.
VX, Jackson, dude.
Yeah,
Like, you
thank
guys
you.
are big bros to us, and we respect y'all so much. So, like I said, thank you again for just being on the pod. I know it's been a minute,
Yep.
but I know I had to make this happen because
Yep.
you guys are, like I said, pioneers.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely pioneers in our community, and we appreciate that for sure,
Yeah.
You guys,
Thank you for
you
having us.
guys are the movement for our community.
You guys are. You
Yeah.
guys are the movement.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Like, so everybody, yeah, man. Hope you guys come and support us too at our future events. It's like that too, cause with that we just give back to the community. So help us, help you guys. All right.
Come through. All right, man. Like I said, dude. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. To me, I had such a good time. Y'all just didn't see behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
I gotta cut a lot of stuff,
Yep.
but it was fun as fuck, dude. I'm telling y'all, dude, man.
I one word. Yeet.
Yeah, for sure.
We should have that say G.
Okay, I have them. Okay, so when I ended, I gotta say G and everything, right? Like
G?
Yeah, G.
Yeah.
Like peace out, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna say my part, then let's just say it together, all right, bro? Okay, but yeah, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Come reminisce with us on the next episode. G. Yo, yeah.
Shout out to DJ Fado too, man. DJ Fado, we see you.
DJ Fado.
Shout out, bro.